Hello and welcome to the Flory Models Friday catch-up show. Here we are with you on the 26th of January 2023. Busy week. Good week last weekend. Obviously we met some of you at Duxford, the Imperial War Museum. Lovely place, fantastic. If you haven't been, you need to go. I'll show you some pictures in a minute. But it was lovely to meet some of you. And again, I didn't hang around long outside because it was bitterly cold. And that's why most of you didn't recognise me, because I was wrapped up. I looked like an Eastern, something from Stalingrad, because it was bitterly cold in the wind outside. Indoors, in the hangars, great, they're all heated. It was lovely in there, but outside it was bitterly cold. Anyway, all started on Monday, where we had the next part, which is part 4 of the B25. B25 kit is absolutely beautiful. It's going together, but I don't know if it's my fault or other things that I found. But anyway, we've got a bit of a seam line going down in here. It's not even a ghost seam line, so we need to take care of that. Obviously worked on the forward cockpit, and then it was just getting in, a little bit of filler job down in here, and then sanding it. So usual thing, starting to go through, a little bit of sanding, didn't quite work as well. Come in with a little bit of super glue and some little low spots, just because it's quick and easy. Resand that, and then obviously put in all the details which we've just lost in, so i.e. rescribing, and then we came in with re-riveting it all, and there we go, we've got all those details back in there, and we're all looking really good with that particular one. Then we painted up and weathered up obviously that forward area for the sort of bomb aimer's position, and with those forward guns, and we got those all installed into it, and then we went about fixing the entire front end onto it to really get it coming together. Again, it's one of those things, that seam line down the back, it could have been me. In fact, it probably was. But for whatever reason, I just couldn't get it to lay nicely. So again, there's no point sort of worrying about it too much. You might as well just get in there with a filler and take care of detailing it afterwards. The rest of it, though, I have to say, has absolutely been an absolute dream fit on this one. So with all those put together, it's coming together really, really nicely. Just going around, tidying it up, making sure we're happy with everything. And then obviously in the next part, we can move on with getting it all masked up. And then we have a little problem, but more about that in a moment. Anyway, members, if you want to go off and see that one, you can do now. It's up on the site right now. That's part 4. Obviously, if you just click into here, it will take you over into the build, and you can see them all, and all the photos and the descriptions down in here as well. So if you want to have a look at any of those at any point, even if you're a non-member, you can check out the photo area. Tuesday, me and Matt show. With the usual thing, it's free to watch. It's on Tuesdays, and it's a recorded show these days, but next week it will be a live one, so we will be live at around about 3 o'clock as well. So if you want to join us for that particular one, be about an hour's show, but it is live, so we can answer some of your questions. So if you've got any questions for us, hold them out, and then obviously we can go in and do that. But basically, usual thing on that particular show, we're just working our way through. Obviously we've talked a lot about Duxford, which I'll show you in a moment, and there's Duxford from the outside, and then obviously what I was up to, we were talking about obviously the gun areas, some of the questions obviously you guys had asked from the previous shows, and various things all the way through. And then obviously we were talking about a lot of what's been announced this week. So again, Italia were doing their releases for the year, which is quite nice, so we had a look around with those ones. We were talking about the new Qatari 109, and do we really need another 109? Apparently. And all that. So we were talking about that one, and there was something else. What else we were talking about? There was something in here, I'm sure there was. Some books as well. So we got the new Duke Hawkins A7 Corsair, and I've got to build one. So I'll get the book, and then we'll do one. And then obviously answering all your questions and all the topical things that are going on at the moment. So if you want to catch up with those shows, you can do that up there as well. It's free to watch. You can go and see that. All right. So at the same time as that one, obviously if you click down in here underneath, you can go along to a little photo gallery. And obviously it's full on. There's around about 100 photos in here to go through. They are all in high res. So if you click on any of them, they go through to the full size. All right, and then obviously you can scoot along them in full size if you want, but I've done them really for me because I'm planning on doing the Lysander in the future. So obviously I've got the old Matchbox one to do, so I thought, right, reference photo, so we shot that one to death as well. Obviously some nice sort of research ones if you're into your tornadoes and engines and things. We've got full-on photos of the engines down in here. I've done a lot of work around the nozzle, same with the lightning, and working my way around the entire museum. And again, the great thing is the old warbirds that are in here. Cold day, so everything was tucked up. One of the nice surprises, having seen Sally be outside all these years and flying and everything else, it's nice to see her in bits, and then you can see the real proper workings of how it goes through. So again, I've got some good photos of engines, so if you want some nice detailed shots of it, I'll try to get quite a few on here as well. Working my way right the way through the engines, trying to get the wiring and the hosing and stuff like that so you could see it. So again, if you want to look at those, and the wing, yeah, how that wing spot is so small. It's tiny, it's ridiculous that a massive bomber has just those little parts hold it together. Anyway, some of the other favourites down there as well, all the way through the museum, all the different ones. I've taken loads of photos. So if you do need them for a bit of reference or research or whatever you want to do, feel free. They are up on the site and they are free for anybody to grab and copy down or whatever you want to do with them. All right. So there we go. And obviously I took a few of these because I'm working on the B25. Different version technically to mine, but you know what I mean. It's close enough. So yes, we was going through all the ones on that, trying to get some nice reference photos as well as all the other fantastic exhibits down there as well, like the B52, and as you can see, pretty much everything, SR71, you name it, they're all down in there, including the fantastic Phantom, which is down there. But again, if you want to have a look around any of these, feel free, just click down in there. And a couple of people are asking, where's the SR71? Oh yeah, she's there still. Dusty, but she is there, definitely. So, some absolute fantastic. Say, if you've never been, highly recommend it. It's one of those places where it's not just one museum like this. This is obviously the American Museum at the top of the airfield, but obviously you've got everything from the restoration area, you've got the stuff that's flying, you've got obviously the World War II, sort of Cold War era stuff and all the bits and pieces, and you've got the Land Museum as well. So if you want to get any one of those, you can do. All right, but it's definitely worth the day out and definitely worth the admission price as well. Just, I would say, go on a warmer day. But yes, so they're up there right now. So as you say, just literally click down on this one and that will take you through to there. Then obviously back to my vlogs. These are members only vlogs, trying to keep them under 10 minutes. I know this one went slightly over, but that's because I was having a bad day, because this is all about where I completely screwed up and put down technically one side was fine and then this side was not so fine, and then what happened was when I clamped it, it moved it. So this particular part here moved and it slid across, which you'll see in a moment. So I was talking about that and talking about when things go wrong, how to fix them and stuff like that, show down in there. Members, you got a sneak early preview of the review of the Gerald R. Ford Carrier as well. All right, so that one was up as well. The rest of you, you'll see that in a minute. All right, so that was there. And then yesterday, obviously we're talking, I've started on the Tiger Moth, so we were talking about working on that one, obviously fixing the B25, getting that one sorted as well. We were talking about that. And then obviously as well, a little bit early preview for members, you got the review of the actual new Bradley kit as well by Model Factory. So that one went up yesterday. You can see it just down in there. So they're members only vlogs. As I say, this one's a bit better, about 8 minutes or something. Trying to keep the vlogs short and snappy of what we're up to, and you guys seem to like that format, so we'll be sticking from that in the future. Bang up today, we've got part 5. Obviously this is the Mitchell. This one obviously covers a lot of what was going wrong, and well, it's going fine till now. So we talked about using the mask set, going through that one, putting it all together, masking it all up, which is great, using the old crystal clear to weigh it down, and the reasons I do that, like just in case something goes wrong, like in a minute. And it was all going fine, and you can see these side panels are on here fine, and this was the problem one on this side because it wasn't going, so I clamped it. Unfortunately, when I clamped it, oh yeah, I'm putting the photo etch as well and using a little pin just to put the glue in down in there. But when we clamped it, this happened. So literally it was one of those where, because I had a clamp on it, it's pulled it. The clamp, it was a peg, it's a clothes peg I used. And what it's done is pulled this up because of obviously on there. This one wasn't totally dry, and then I didn't notice it, left it for a day, came back, and that's how I found it. And it was one of those where, Jesus, what am I going to do? I could have cut it and just cut it and squared it off, made it a little bit smaller and had no problem, just walked away from it. Or we could have just sanded it all off completely and either make another one out of a little bit of plastic card, or we did have the photo etch sheets for it as well. But to be honest with you, I think the photo etch sheets are a little bit too thin. So I thought really that was probably the best way to go. Or we can do it the really hard way, of course. But you know me, I like to show you the difficult things as well as the easy stuff. So we decided to basically use Tamiya Extra Thin to try and get this off. And that's what we actually did. So we went along with some extra thin, we let it soak in for around about 10 minutes, and then we just put a blade in and slowly walked the blade all the way down as the glue was softening. So we don't want it too soft because we don't want to cut into the fuselage and into the actual plastic part. We just want to soften the glue. So obviously coming down there with a knife and getting it all off, and then it actually came off, as you can see just there. And obviously because of the glue and everything, it has made a complete mess down in there. So then it's back in with sanders. So again, top coat, just getting off with a medium sander. You can see the high parts coming away with it, and then just going at it until it's all polished back how it is. And then we polished it up, and that was looking quite nice, but obviously we've lost all the detail now. So then we had to go in and re-rivet and re-scribe to put all those details back in. And then finally we came in with the actual plastic part again and glued it back on. And I am happy to report, well, hopefully she is here. So that's it on there now. Need a little bit of tidy up just around here as well, and a sand back and everything else. One thing I did say, and what I actually like, is that because we've pulled this off now, and obviously it was slightly out of shape and everything else, it's actually given it like a stressed skin effect. This actual plate on here, which looks nice. Unfortunately, the rest of it hasn't got it. But when you see the other one, it looks too universal and too nice. But this one I prefer now because it's just a little bit more working at it. And I think by the time we come along, we put a coat of primer on, we get those shiny glue marks gone, we should be back exactly where we want to be. And now we are. So again, it took me sort of a day middling around with all of this to make sure it was all fine and sorted, but technically this is ready for primer now. So we are masked up, as you can see down in here. I've got the front bit to come on. I popped it off just to make sure we didn't have any problems on the inside, which we don't. So I'll get it remasked, and then next week we'll be coming into this one and we'll actually get this thing fully primed up. And then, to be honest with you, I've got some Hataka paints for this one, and we're going to be going through and painting it in the very, well, probably end of next week, maybe the week after we'll start on this one, because we're going through. Because this week I've also started on this. So down in here we've got the Tiger Moth, and again I've got the little space set for it. I think they're great value for money. You've got everything you need without going over the top. So we're going to pop this one into it. So members, part one of this will be up with you on Monday. On that particular one. So the plan is with this, it's something a little bit full on. So I'm doing the Tiger Moth, which is this kit. All right, which is the ICM one. It does come with the figures and the cadet and the officer and all the rest of it. So the plan with that is I'm going to build this one up, and we're just going to do it in silver and all the rest of it dope linen. We are going to rig it and all those things as well. And then Matt, as you know, if you've been watching the actual shows with him, he's doing the magnet little, I think it's 1970s Airfix kit. In 32nd as well. So with the figures that come with this kit and this plane and his car, then we're going to make a diorama together. So we'll have it like a 1930s airfield. So very much tea and tiffin with that particular one. So it's going to be part of the Interbellum War as well. So obviously this is the one between obviously World War One, World War Two. It's a groove build that's currently running on the site. So this will be my entry into it, and it'll be Matt's as well. So at some point we will come together with both of us and we'll do the diorama base for it. Very much like you saw the one at Christmas, which we filmed last summer. Sorry it took a while to come out. This one won't, I promise it'll be a lot quicker. So there'll be lots of static grass. We're thinking windsock, you know, and again tea and tables and all the rest of it all around it, and we're going to be doing something like that. So B25's on the go at the moment. Then obviously we're on with this particular one, Tiger Moth. Don't think it's going to take too long because let's face it, it's not a massive complicated kit going through there. And then I'll be starting on my third project of the year so far, which I'll be starting on hopefully the latter part of next week as well, because I'll say we're trying to move all these different things around and get lots of things going this year. Smaller projects, so smaller, that's going to be a big one, but smaller projects in general all the way through. But should be having a lot of fun with all of those. Up this week as well, we've had 2 fantastic reviews. These kits were sent to me by Magic Factory, so massive shout out for them. I didn't have to buy them. So they sent me kind enough these 2 down, and they are just in the review section. So if you pop over on the site, just go to the top and you've got reviews, click on there, you'll come down into here and you can see these 2. And I must admit, it doesn't happen often, probably because I review so many things, but it's one of those things where I've reviewed it and thinking, I'd like to build it. And it's now I've got an itch I need to scratch. But generally, the great thing about this carrier, it's 700 scale, it's waterlined or full hull, depending which way you want to do it. It's not over the top. As you can see, it goes together quite quickly. You do get a full hangar deck as well as obviously the flight deck. So, but generally details are quite straightforward right the way over this, and has been pointed out, apart from there's no helos on board, which might have to go down aftermarket route to get some, you do get everything, even though you don't get one on the box. But it's really, really nice. But you do get a flight of Stingrays, you get Hawkeyes, you've got Superbugs, E's and F's. Don't get any G's though, unfortunately. But you do get some F-35Cs as well. All right, so there's plenty of things to go on. You get a nice little bit of photo etch with this one. Incredibly comprehensive decal sheet, as well as for the aircraft. Look at the size of those, that's just ridiculous. But down in there, but you say it looks really nice. Maybe a little bit heavily detailed for 700 scale. I think you lose your leg in that. But I think with washes and various things, it will turn out really, really nice. So I am planning on building this at some point. I don't know when, I don't know where, but I will be building it in the future. So keep an eye out for this particular one, because it does look really nice. And as I say, it's quite a simple kit going together as well, not like the giant sort of Tamiya, the 350 scale ones and stuff like that. So yeah, fits on my cutting mat, so it qualifies, but generally can see some very, very nice details on this one. And the aircraft, to be honest, are absolutely brilliant. Considering 700 scale, they are absolutely beautifully done. Very, very nice. Those F-35s, the gear is minute with it. So again, if you want to see that review, it's up there right now. You can go off and see that one. The other one as well went up was the Bradley. So we got the Bradley just down in here. And again, this is one of those kits where I often talk about how you get inspired by box art. And people say box art's a thing of the past now. You don't need it. It's all online. Who cares? This cares, because I saw this and thought, I'd love to build that. That is such a cool scheme. Having the Euro camo with the actual sand bricks on it and all the rest of it. Yeah, I think fantastic. Very, very nice as well. A lot more interesting, shall we say, because you can do things with the weather in than you can with obviously see the one in the background when it's just all in desert. So yeah, very much. And also the great thing about this particular kit, it's not massively over the top. Fully detailed, don't get me wrong, but it hasn't got an interior, so you're not going to bog down. Also, it's got great tracks, so Lincoln length tracks, that saves an absolute age. So it's got all the things I like about armour in this particular kit. Really good, solid design. Say, if you've never touched the Magic Factory before, trust me, they are right up there with them. They are very, very nice. They're on a par with anything Tamiya's doing and stuff like that. So very, very nice, as you can see. So some good stuff down in there. As you can see, loads and loads of photo etching the various bits and pieces. As you can see, very, very nice indeed. So again, one of those decals, and then the actual plastic itself, good, strong, clean, crisp, sharp, very nice as well. So again, some good detail right the way through, as you can see. Anyway, if you do want to go off and see more about this one, the review is up there right now as well. You can go off and see those as always at your leisure. So plenty to see on there. And I say I've got more great reviews coming for you over the next few weeks as well, including some more new releases that are coming my way hopefully next week. So that one's nice. Don't forget, over in the store, we've got all your washes. We've got your thick wash and you've got your thin wash. Just to answer the question, a lot of people have been asking what's the difference between thick and thin. We do have the videos for it. So literally just scroll up here and you've got videos down here about using the thin wash. The thin wash, I like to say, has got great capillary action. It flows. It goes into all the small details on its own. As you can see, when it dries, it's very, very thin on the surface. So it's great for being used as a wash. That's what it's literally designed for. The thicker wash, though, that's on a different part because this stuff is a lot more thick. So when it goes down and goes on, it literally is more akin to like a poster paint finish. So when you're putting it on, but it's got great coverage. So as I say, we did the thing here, literally we just sprayed it through an airbrush straight over this old tank of mine and it goes completely white. It's thick. This stuff is a lot harder to get off as well. So you can sand it, and obviously if you're using it with water, it will reactivate it, but it will take, there we go, that's spraying it on. It will take quite a bit to get this stuff off, so it's not just as easy and as thin to use as the wash, so it's definitely thicker. It doesn't flow either, but what you can do with this, you can chip and wear through it because it's a little bit tougher. So it's not just a thick version, it's a tougher version at the end of the day. So you can do a lot more different things with it to scuff and wear through, and you can flick this stuff and it will stick because it's thick and tacky and gooey stuff, and you can mix it with a little bit of pigments and things, and you can make up heavy duty mud and anything else if you wanted to. So yeah, it's one of those washes. It's a completely different one to the other one. You can thin the thick wash, but you will lose some of its capabilities if you do thin it, because it's really not designed to be thinned. It's designed to be used as is. All right, but anyway, there's full videos about using the thick and the thin washes up there as well. So literally just pop over anywhere on the site. If you just come over like in here, and they're at the top, so you've got thick washes and the normal washes as well, so you can just click on those and that will give them. And again, we've got them available as sets, or you've got them, as you can see, or you've got them as individuals. And we've got your pigments. The pigments will all be fully back in stock this week as well, because I know we're very low on some of them. And obviously don't forget, we've got your merch. So if you want a t-shirt, you want the actual mouse mat sets, lovely Kareem there now modelling for us. And obviously we've got our mug. So if you fancy a mug, this isn't the members limited edition. This is a standard, going to be around forever mug. So we've got those available as well. And don't forget, it's free shipping on all orders over £10 in the UK. All right, so if you just want to grab something like that, you can do. And don't forget, we've also got your wash holders, your micro set and sole holders, and your glue holders, and we've got the nozzle sets as well. And I will get going with a 3D printer to get some more of those done this weekend as well. So plenty of those to go round. So anyway, you can find all of those as always on the actual members store. And obviously don't forget, if you wanted to become a member to us, just click in members. It's only £5 a month depending on where you're going from, so it's £4 plus VAT if you're in the EU, or it's just £5 flat rate if you're in the UK. All right, so you can just join up and you can see what we do all week long. Finally, over to the actual PM Models store. Don't forget, they got 12% off all kits, all right? So it's all kits, flat rate now, 12% off absolutely everything. So literally just pop along to any manufacturer you like. Let's just grab Airfix, for instance. And you can see we've got the reduced prices now on these. So it's just 12% flat rate off of absolute everything. Don't forget, though, we've got our special offers section. So extra discounts on top of the 12% as well. We've got things like, we've got the, this is the retarded lacquer thinners. So think of it like self-leveling thinners. That's what that one is. We've got a little bit extra, obviously, on some Airfix. We've got some on the Academy stuff as well. That F5, don't forget, that is actually the AFB F5 in that box. So it's a really nice kit. And all the other ones, including some of the Tamiya 148 scale armour, which is really nice. I must admit, I need to get one of those and have a go with that. So we've got all of those down in there, and we've got the infantry sets to go with it. Also, we've got a little bit of Hasegawa, so they're actually two fantastic classic kits from those. And also, we've got some of the Edard Profi packs that we spoke about last week. They are up on the site as well. So if you want to grab any of those ones, you can do. And we've had a full restock of the books and the bits and pieces as well. So we've got all your books coming in. They've all come in this week as well. So we've got a nice stocking of all your books. So if you want to grab anything from any of these, you can do. They are up on the site right now. And don't forget, we had the paintbrushes, I think we spoke about this weekend, and stuff like that as well. So lots of things. Got all your paints, all your glues, all your sundries, and all your kits. Just pop over to pmmodelsuk.com and they will sort you out just there. So yes, good job by all. Anyway, that's about it from me. Next week, we're going to be pushing on heavily with these two. And then I'll say I'm working on these over the weekend as well. So you should see a really big difference on the Tuesday show as we make our way through. Don't forget, Tuesday show is going to be live at 3 o'clock. So if you want to join us with questions and things like that, it'd be lovely to have you along with that particular one. As always on a Friday, I'm going to leave you with your great work from the gallery. So until Monday, everybody, happy modelling. Take care.
Falling like I'm wasted. My heart grows heavy.